Now in its 10th year, this is Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody. This is Alex, and this, of course, is the Ramble. And it goes until midnight tonight. Hey, it's another week, and it's another Larry Bubbles Brown. And boy, I'm exhausted from that trip to France. God damn it.
Right.
I hate traveling, because you got to get in. Now I have to get in a wheelchair in the airport because I don't want to have to walk all that way to the plane. And the fact is, I probably could walk all the way to the train, but it's much nicer. If you're in a wheelchair, they just zip you right through stuff,
Yeah.
And then I got my what do you call that super pass you get or whatever, where you don't have to take your shoes off and you don't have to do any of that, and you just zip right through.
Is that Clear, TSA?
No, Clear is another part of the system. This is TSA Plus or something like that. Anyway,
if I were traveling a lot, I would get that. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I got it. Marjorie applied for it, and she hasn't gotten hers yet. So I'm going to zip right through. Excuse me. I have to act like it's already happened. So I got to zip right through, and she is sitting there, taking her shoes off. So anyway,
I hate that. Remember before 9/11, where you didn't even have to show your identity. You buy a ticket at the counter, and I think you walked through a metal detector. That was all you had to do.
Got to remember how that happened. Though, was one guy had a bomb in his shoe, and so after that, every one of us for the next 10 years, I mean, that happened maybe 10, 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, have had to take our shoes off. And nobody has tried to get a shoe bomb through. Forget it. And it's not because they took their shoes off. It's just because they did it once, and that was it. But because one guy did it once. All other countries, like in Europe and so on, you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. Yeah. I think they just want to intimidate you here.
I think they do. It's really annoying. I hate it. It's dehumanizing.
Dehumanizing, yeah, that's a way of putting it.
Kind of like it's similar to cows going to a slaughterhouse, getting into an airport. I really hate it.
Well, it used to be. Look, it was to begin with when I first traveled. Everybody got dressed up to fly.
I see the old pictures in the 50s, people in suits going on airplanes.
Yeah. Now you're lucky if they got clothes on.
Yeah, it's like a flying Walmart.
It used to be that there was a certain something in traveling, and then when you got your meal, oh boy, it was pretty good. A pretty good little meal. And they got world-class chefs to work on making up a menu and so on and so forth. And everybody got fed, by the way. You didn't have to pay for your meal or anything like that. Now, what do? They throw some, crackers at you, and that's it.
$20.
$20 for the crackers. Yeah. So, I mean, it's nothing anymore, It's just like you're cattle and they're herding you. And
everyone I know that travels a lot just hates it now.
Well, I mean, it's just not a pleasure any longer.
No.
You have to get there 2 hours beforehand. In the old days, when I was a boy, in the old days, you could get to the plane about 10 minutes before it took off, and you wound up running down the hallway to the plane, and then you throw the ticket at them, and you run on the plane,
That was great, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was never any question about you having to go through TSA or any of that. I honestly believe. You see, I think we should have two things. Okay, we should have TSA. All the bells and whistles. Take your clothes off, or your pants off, or your shoes off, or whatever. And go right through, because this is where everybody's being inspected. And then another line where there's nobody doing anything to you, and you go and zip right through, and it's called the "I'll take my chances" line.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to be in that line every time. Because, if somebody, face it, if somebody's going to blow up the plane, they're smarter than you are, than I am, and probably smarter than the TSA. I mean, have you seen some of those troglodytes at TSA? It's not like they're working from from any kind of intelligence. And they didn't get that job because it was the best job in town and everybody was going for it. So
Let's put it this way. Our old friend Chuck Farnham worked for TSA.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I've got to talk to him next time about his adventures with TSA. How long did he work for them? I think it was just a couple of months, and they couldn't stand it.
Yeah. That doesn't give me a lot of security, knowing Chuck was at TSA.
Well, if you people have watched my show and you've seen Chuck Farnham, you probably go, what is that exactly? And that is not a human. It's not an animal. It's what we call a Chuck Farnham. And he was working for TSA. Yeah.
God.
But it's just that the whole process slows it down, makes it more arduous. And the fact is that, it's just not a lot of that is going on now. They're not trying to take down the planes. So I don't know.
I think Boeing's taking the planes down themselves now.
Oh yeah, they're doing a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Doors don't stay on.
Well, Boeing is they're in double trouble, triple trouble. They got a strike going, okay, which may or may not still be going when we do this, when we play this. They have doors falling off their planes. That's not good news for passengers, okay? And almost every plane you're going to take, practically, your chances are you're on a Boeing, all right? And then the Boeing capsule they sent up to the space station suddenly went bad, and they can't bring the astronauts back. They're up there till February. They were supposed to be back like 5 months ago. That was another Boeing failure.
Right. And they used to be so good.
Well, I don't know if they used to be so good, but they certainly were the preeminent airplane makers. And we kind of trusted them, and nothing seemed to particularly go wrong with them. They seemed pretty sturdy. But now there are all kinds of things going wrong with Boeing airplanes, and it's because, to begin with, they changed management, if I believe. I mean, they may have even changed who owned them. And they don't really double-check stuff like they used to, and they farm out a lot of their stuff to other companies. Like this company will do the fuselage, and this company will do the interiors, and blah, 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 so that they don't have the same control over the manufacture that they once had because they're farming it out. So,
Well, we had here in San Francisco a few months ago, a plane was taking off, and one of the wheels fell off.
I saw that.
Huge, and
Yeah.
landed in the parking lot and smashed a car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But Boeing's...
If anybody been in the car, it would have killed them. I mean, those things are huge.
Was it a Boeing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah. But, are they responsible for the wheels? Those wheels are changed all the time, right?
Well, their maintenance is, yeah.
But their maintenance isn't Boeing. Their maintenance is like, local people.
Maintenance would have been done by United on that, yeah.
What happens is they go from being in TSA to changing wheels on planes. And that's why we have trouble. We're using those same troglodytes you see at TSA. You know. I also wow, what trip were we on where they pulled me aside, and I can't remember why they pulled me aside, but they pulled me aside, and they ran me through a full body scanner, and then I had to take practically all my clothes off, my my socks and my shoes, and one thing or another, and my wristwatch. I had to take my wristwatch off, and my wallet had to be taken out. And so now I'm finished, and I say, okay, you can go. This is after like a half hour, right? So I'm running to my plane. I suddenly realize I don't have my wallet. I left my wallet on the desk where I left all the other stuff, and nobody said to me, hey, mister, you left your wallet behind. No. And I finally went back and I got it. And they went, oh, yeah, here it is. And they pulled a drawer out because they'd put it in a drawer. And here's your wallet. And I went, geez almighty. Yeah. Is that
That's going to be the worst feeling in the world.
But, is that the best you can do is you can steal my wallet?
Yeah.
I mean, God, I want the old days where you just got on the plane wearing a suit, And you got a good meal, and the stewardess, they're now cabin attendants. The stewardess were like so nice, and anything we can do to help you? Would you like a little more tea? Would you like a little more coffee? Your meal will be coming soon. No, none of that.
No, they're all stressed out and they're pissed and they're not in a good mood. And
now dinner is
not fun. It's not fun.
Dinner goes something like this. Which kind of cookie do you want?
And we don't take cash. Give us your credit card.
Yep. Yeah. See, what if... now, you have credit cards, right?
I do have a credit card, yeah.
A credit card. You just said a credit card.
Yeah.
There's another problem in this society, credit cards, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm an old man. I'm just grousing, and you're all going, what are you old man? You're griping about credit cards, huh? Yeah, well, when's the last time you lost yours and you felt insecure because you couldn't get it back fast enough, You lose a credit card, you immediately go crazy. You've got no way to pay for anything.
Some places don't take cash.
Okay, here we go to old man again. Here we go. You're going to love this. When I was a boy, they only took cash. Okay?
Yeah.
And I remember when the first credit cards started to appear, people didn't want to use them. What's that all about? I can't remember what the first one that I saw. They actually advertised it on TV. And everybody goes, I don't need that. I pay in cash. So people paid in cash. Now the national debt is absolutely off the charts. And it's because everybody puts everything on a credit card. And then they get that bill at the end of the month. And rather than pay the whole thing off, they pay off a portion of it. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we have a national debt.
Well, I think the first credit card was called the Diners Club.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It came out in like the late 40s. Some guy was having a meal with 4 people, and it was so expensive. Hey, we got to come up with something so people don't have to have all this cash.
Yeah, and the Diners Club was the first one. And it seemed kind of reasonable in a way because the Diners Club basically was for eating, for restaurants. That's why it was called the Diners Club card. And you joined the Diners Club, and then you went and you paid for your stuff by flashing this card, and they put it, and then you would get a bill at the end of the month. That was the first one. Then I remember the second one, I think, was it MasterCard or was it Visa? I can't remember. I don't
know.
I think it might have been. I think MasterCard and Visa kind of appeared at the same time. And I think Visa was started basically by Bank of America, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, it became its own company, and later on, it's now whatever it is. But
Yeah, it was Bank Americard for a while.
yeah, what kind do you have? Visa or
I
Master?
got a Chase.
A Chase, so it would probably be a Visa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it says Chase on it because that's your bank, and they issued it to
Right.
you. But it has to be either a Visa or Mastercard, or is there any other? Any of them thinking
I
of?
think that's it. One starts with the Visa, I think, starts with a 4, and the other one starts with a 5.
Three, I think, maybe.
Oh, 3. Okay.
I don't know. I could look it up on through my wallet. That's
You
the
could
one.
ask yeah, you could do that, or ask Alexa.
You know, they ask you sometimes on the phone, like, "Well, what kind of credit card do you have?" And I say, "I just gave you the number. You should know from me giving you the number, because all
Yeah.
the Mastercards start in what, 4s or something like that, or whatever." Anyway, it's like about 3 different credit cards, and they're like 3, 4, and 5. So, and they all start with that number. Oh, you got American Express. I forgot that. There you go. There's 3 of them. It's you know, I mean, it's just, the world's too complicated now. I just want it to be easier, you know, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And all the technology we get. I mean, I was on the phone with trying to get this Marjorie's wristwatch, Apple Watch working, so it picks up cellular signals. And when I get online, you get this endless thing of, and press 1 if you want this, and 2 if you want that. Okay, now we're in the other thing, and it takes forever, and it rings and rings and rings and rings, and then another voice says, "Would you please press 2 if you want this?" And after you're through with it, you're going, I'm just in this hell of robo operators handling your call. These companies do not want to talk to you anymore.
None of them, no. It's just
They do everything
getting a
they
live
can.
person is difficult.
And all the companies that I've dealt with, then, yeah, it was really nice. I'd call the number, I'd call customer support, I get a human being, and we deal with it. Now it's just robo people talking to me, and it's like, why don't they start off the call by saying, "Hello, this is, I don't know, whatever company. Your call is absolutely not important to us. So that's why you're being put in this robocall hell." Okay? And then they ask you all the questions. And they never solve the problem that way. And you keep yelling into the
to someone else, and you got to repeat the same question.
you start yelling into the phone, "Let me talk to a human being." And then they say, "Well, before we can do that, please answer the following questions." And then you yell once again, "Let me talk to a human being." If you say that enough, you will finally get to a human being.
Eventually, yeah.
But you've got to yell. And I hear Marjorie making a call to one of these companies, and she's screaming into the phone, "Will you goddamn mother, brother, give me, I want to talk to a human." And it's terribly, I'll tell you where it's terribly frustrating. I'm an old guy, okay? I make no bones about it. And I have all the ills of being old, including lack of patience. And to be stuck in this technological hell every time I want to get something done is really vexing to me as an older person. And I think that these things should all have a desire to be kinder to old people and to not frustrate them and to not confuse them. And it's terrible. And I know what I'm doing, and I'm still confused. So, how about you?
Yeah, well, we're from that era where they actually used to, if you were a customer, they treated you nice because you were giving them money. So,
Yes. And now they act like they're doing you a favor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're an annoyance.
Well, that's changed. Well, then we get into the politics. Now, I don't know. We recorded this before the election. It's being played after the election. So I wonder how President Harris is going to handle all of this. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me stop. Or how President Trump is going to handle all of this. We don't. I wish we could. We should have talked about it in the last one we did, which was like 10 minutes ago.
Well, I did see one good thing in the news about. I think they're going to make it easier if you want to cancel something online, where you, like a gym membership or something, where it's impossible to cancel. Now they're going to make that. You can just click one button and be done with it.
Well, it's not impossible to cancel, but it's not easy to cancel.
No.
And what they want you to be able to do is there's this one thing you click and it goes cancel. Before, if we wanted to cancel it, they'd say, give us a reason why. Then we answer this question, then answer that question. And then if you wanted to cancel it, there was a little something on the bottom of the screen that said cancel, that most people wouldn't even see. And they want to have a certain thing where it's just very obvious. If you want to cancel, just push a button and you're canceled.
Yeah, and they'll try to sell you something else.
Yeah, well, they can't. That's what they don't want to do. They don't want to. They don't want to have you do anything else but cancel. And I mean, when I've tried to cancel some things, what was it? One the other day I tried to cancel, and I had to go through all kinds of hell to cancel it because I couldn't find the place to go to cancel it. And it's very easy to sign up for anything. Just click here and you're signed up. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Now I want to get out of it. How do I do that? Well, first press this, then press that, then go to this site, and then go to this and do that, and that's what they're talking about. It has to be as easy for you to stop using a service as it was for you to sign up for it.
Well, I remember years ago when you got around it by actually canceling your credit card.
Well, but then
and they were trying to, they had a payment on your card, so they wouldn't cancel it, so you just canceled the card.
You want to know the one that's really bothering me? These credit reporting outfits. Now, I've got a pretty good credit rating, but it keeps going down every year. You know why? Because I'm not working. But wait a minute. Look at my credit cards. I've paid every one of them on time. There is no balance. Shouldn't that give me great credit? No, It gives me terrible credit because I don't have enough credit cards. Wow, is that true? Yeah. Like you're probably, if you got only one credit card, your credit is much lower. Your credit rating much lower than it should be. Yes, absolutely. You got to have. They keep saying if you want to make your credit better, here subscribe to this credit card. It will improve it. Mm-hmm. What? Because I have more debt. I have a higher credit rating than if I don't have debt. I haven't had debt in years, and it keeps going down. It should go up, shouldn't it? Logically,
you would think.
I mean, isn't it credit rating telling people, hey, here's how, I mean, it's not low enough that I worry about it, but it keeps going down because I just get older and I don't have more than the credit cards I already have, and I don't have a job, but I do have a lot of money. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is I don't have enough credit. I don't have enough debt. So it's really stupid. It's really stupid. Oh, well, this world just ain't what it used to be. You want to sign a suicide pact with me?
I'm ready.
Well, I could not sign a suicide pact with somebody else because I'm so afraid of dying that if it came time for us to blow our brains out, I don't know if I'd pull the trigger. Like, how did Ava Braun know that after she pulled the trigger, Hitler was going to pull the trigger?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. For all she knows, Hitler may still be alive. Yeah.
In South
In
America.
South America. Yeah. Oh man, what a crazy world we live in. It doesn't get any better, does it, Larry?
Just gets worse.
Yeah. Well, let me see here. How much time do we have? Oh, we got about 30 seconds left. Do you playing anywhere that we need to plug?
I just got done. I did a couple of shows with. He said to say hi, your old friend David Tell.
Oh, gee. Okay. Yeah. I love Dave. He's great. He's crazy.
A bunch of people in the audience after the show came up and asked me about you.
Really?
Hmm?
Huh. Boy, they must have been old. Uh, anyway. Well, we'll be coming out to California, I think, eventually, because we want to go up to Alaska on that Alaska cruise, and we're going to stop in San Francisco. So maybe we'll arrange something.
We'll
at
do
that
the
time.
reunion show. That'd be great.
The reunion show, yeah. Me and Larry. Anyway, I'll see you next week, Larry. How's
See you
that?
next week, Alex.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Larry Bubbles Brown. Yeah.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. No, we won't see him this next week, a week from now, because we won't be on a week from now, because it's our little small Thanksgiving break that we do once a year. We always take the Thanksgiving Day and then the day afterwards. Because I don't know why, but it just, from always working and stuff, they always took off Thanksgiving, and then they also took off the what do you call it, the day afterwards. So I do the same thing. I still continue that tradition. But anyway, we're here today, and once again, we're attempting to. We're still attempting to not talk about the orangutan in the room, because we don't want to spend the next 4 years talking about the same thing we've talked about for the last 4 years, in fact, the last 10 years. So we're trying to avoid that. There are times when you can't. There's an appointment made that, that bears discussing. So consequently, I'm hoping that we can forget him and not talk about him. There's nothing we can do about the orangutan in the room. Nothing we can do. Zero. So since we can't do anything, we'll just, We'll just talk about other stuff, okay? There's lots of other stuff to talk about, although I can't figure out what. But there's lots of other stuff. I don't want this to become a one-subject show. Anyway, let's see here. Let's go to our Zoom, and there are some people already available to us, and we hope that more will join us as we go on. By the way, once again tonight, last night, Amy wasn't on because she couldn't get her equipment to work. That's my excuse to my wife. Her equipment wasn't working right, and she's somewhere, and she wanted to do the show from remote, and her laptop wasn't working right. And then today she found out the reason why was that where she was at her sister's apartment, there's literally almost no Wi-Fi. Okay, and so that made it impossible for her to do it. And then, so she's, so she was going to do it tonight, but decided not to do it tonight because she can't get the proper amount of bandwidth going. So she will be on next Wednesday, which is the only day we're doing a show next week. Okay. Let me see here. We got some people here. Anyway, so that's the stuff we have to, tell you about. Okay. And well, here comes
Nice.
Ray. Admit Ray. Wow, we've got a lot of people to start out with. First of all, there's Jeff, and there's our old friend Josh Wheeler, and Charlie Wallace, and then we are joined by Brian Sigmund, who we have not heard from in a long time. And of course, Richard Braun, who's kind of become a new participant in our little gathering. And then there's Ray. Hello, Ray. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
What you been up to, Brian?
I'm busy, Alex. I haven't checked in a long time. I must not have notifications or something because I don't know. If I don't look for you, it's like you don't exist on my YouTube app. But yeah, I don't know. I just started thinking of you today. I was in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the bathtub,
Oh, wait a minute. You were in the bathtub thinking about me?
Yeesh.
Of course.
He typically does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can climb in there if you want.
No. You did once, I think. If I
Well, I
remember
think
correctly.
more than once.
Think twice.
Yeah, I did it a few times. Yeah, but yeah. So and then with this whole election thing, but then I hear your whole intro, and you don't even want to talk about.
Well, what's the use of it? What's the use of it? What is
No,
it?
no. What we should talk about is what went wrong. What we did wrong.
Well, we could also go with that, but I think pretty much everybody's figured out what went wrong. I mean, not
I
much.
don't know. I'm sorry. No, I mean, I listened to the Bulwark, Pod Save America. I listen to all those guys. Yeah, I'm a podcast junkie. I hear. I don't think I think there's a lot of theories out there, and there's a lot of people who I don't think it's really been honed in yet.
Well, my theory is it was the election was rigged.
Really? No, you don't.
Yes.
You're kidding.
Yes. Why not? I mean, nobody wants to say that or throw that supposition out there because they don't want, like MSNBC doesn't want to seem like they're like Republicans. But there isn't. It was so close in so many ways, and I just think it could be rigged. It could have been from the outside, manipulated. So that's just that. I'm just throwing that out as a theory. Yeah.
I live in South Jersey. New Jersey is a blue state. My county usually goes blue. It went red. As I understand, all over the country, it went red. And you know what? A lot of people I talk to, Trump supporters, and I blame the voter.
Well,
honestly,
I just realized after coming back to America after a couple of days in Europe that every other human being I'm going to meet right now is an asshole.
Thank you.
And so why do I want to live in a country where 50% of the people here are assholes? I don't want to move anywhere where 50% of the people are assholes. So that's why I'm moving to Portugal.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. We're going Portugal or Spain or wherever will take us for a elongated period of time.
Well, Italy has Italy. There's a lot of places in Europe that are having demographic collapses. And if you're really serious about going overseas, there are places that will subsidize a lot of your moving costs.
Well, also there are certain countries, and I understand that's why I said Portugal being one of them, where they are taking in older people. If you're a senior, they will help you get into the country and have all the citizens' rights of the country and so on. So,
Is that where all the walkers are made? Then
that's
Portugal
where all the
or
walkers and the canes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, Alex, the people in Portugal are super nice people. It's like one of the nicest
Hey,
places
listen,
I've ever
I
been.
found that in France, which usually were lousy to Americans, were just wonderful.
Yeah,
They
because
were
they speak English now, most of them.
they
It's
were
true.
really nice. They were really
Yeah.
nice, you know,
Well,
and
they
they're
felt
very
sorry for you
accommodating.
because of Trump. What's his name?
What?
Felt sorry for you because
I
of the
never
election.
had one person over there
do.
when they found out I was an American say we feel sorry for you. There was none of that. And you know, they should feel sorry for me, but you know, they didn't say that, and I was kind of happy. You know, but I felt they were really quite good. They treated me quite well. And better than I've ever been treated by the French in the past. They used to treat us like crap. Do you remember that, Ray?
Yes, it was when they didn't speak much English and they wanted you to speak French, and but almost all French people speak some English now. So and they like speaking English, whereas years ago they didn't. And
Yeah,
so it's so
yeah.
much better now.
And I don't try to speak French because of all the, I mean, Spanish I can do, okay? And I will attempt to do it because it's a certain crossover with English. But French, you have to speak it in a very particular way or you are not going to get it right. You know, it's a
Right.
very, it's an easier language than say Chinese or something like that. But it's still very difficult if you aren't precise.
It's very easy to understand when you read it. I mean, somewhat, but they have so many different vowel sounds, and also they don't pronounce the ends of words, and you could just screw it up if you speak English.
So I
They won't
just know
understand.
one French phrase, and it's good for a lot of things. Quel dommage. So anyway, yeah. Hello, Josh.
Hi.
Okay. And Bree, hello. Where's Bree going? Do you figure? I figure he's going to lunch.
I just had lunch, Alex.
Wow.
You know, you're an hour later now because of the time difference.
That's right.
What
Well,
time?
that's right.
Yeah.
Wait,
We
You
don't
felt
change time.
Wait a minute. Say what
They don't do
again?
time forward, time back thing. We don't do that here. It's just the same time all the time.
Oh, I see. Okay. You know what I found out? This is unusual. This is nobody here from Florida, right? I found out from Lori Thompson that where she lives in Florida, that Florida's on Central Time.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe
Part of
part of Florida.
Part of the panhandle is, yeah.
Part of the Panhandle. She's in the Panhandle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah, but why?
People live in the Panhandle.
Yeah, but no, she lives up in the Panhandle. Yeah,
Alex,
supposedly
been
it's
that way.
more liberal up there. Actually,
Farther enough west, yeah.
what somebody was
Yeah,
asking.
you know that.
Oh, there we go. We're going through. This is your little trip through Malaysia. It looks like any other place. Oh, look, musical instruments in Malaysia. Oh, and a refrigerator in Malaysia.
They have refrigerators in Malaysia?
Yeah. Yeah, they just have no place to plug them in. I have no idea where he is, and you know, we're not. What, is that a giant?
I hear
pen-
music in the
Wait a minute,
background.
is that a giant pencil you just passed? Oh no! Oh, it's one of
Oh,
those.
it's one of those air things. Those air sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, now he froze.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
This is exciting radio.
Yeah, it really is exciting.
Internet.
Sit somewhere, Bree. You're making us dizzy. You know.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I'm heading into the city to the Apple store at TRX Exchange to get my new iPad Mini 7, which I have pre-ordered, and it's waiting for me now.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a little tired of when I use my Samsung and I log in, it doesn't always work. It's it's a little slower, and so I'm hoping the iPad Mini 7 will smooth everything
Why
out.
didn't you just get a regular sized iPad?
I did that last week. I got the iPad
Oh,
10,
okay.
I had the iPad Air 2 for a long time, but it was just kind of getting old. I think it had reached its last update capability with like 15 or 16, and now they're on 18. So, and I have my banking app on my tablet, so I want to get that new. They say the iPad Mini has good security.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I'm kind of sick of too much security. I just got over. By the way, you can now go on to gabnet.net without any trouble. It only cost me
any problem.
It only cost me another $99. It seems there's a thing called an SSL certificate, which gives you a secure site, and it guarantees the people coming onto that site that it is secure. Okay? Now there's a certificate on there, which I paid for another 2 years. Okay? I paid for another 2 years. But the problem was that the certificate, you have to kind of move the certificate over or make the thing recognize that it exists or whatever. But for a few extra bucks, I can get them to do it. So I told them do it. Okay. And so now it's working again. No problems. All the pictures are coming in and all of that. But it was a couple of days of. Oddly enough, I called GoDaddy, and the first person I got picked up on the first ring. Who would have known?
It's real people.
Well, anytime I have something go wrong with GoDaddy or any of these companies, I say to myself, "Well, here's a whole day of spending time on the phone." First of all, you got a 45-minute wait till somebody is ready to see. But all of a sudden, it was just like. I said, I'm having trouble with my SSL, and then it rang, and somebody picked up. I figured it was just going to be a message saying your wait time will be another, 5 days. But, all that changed. So you can now go over to gabnet.net. You know what? I got to tell you, Richard, it looks weird. It looks like you're wearing Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah.
I was worried about that, but I didn't want to get up. Now I'll get up.
No.
Move the globes.
Move the globes. There was a movie company called Mascot Pictures. And Shecky, who was very good at getting films and stuff, got the logo for Mascot Pictures. And the logo was a woman, and there were two globes here of the world spinning, but right where her breasts would be. And we made that our logo for a while because it was so much fun. Anyway, Josh, how you doing? Just, anything bothering you these days? I mean...
Doing all right.
I'm doing all right. Okay, how's the... You have a new job now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you mind me mentioning that, or?
No, you can mention it. I'm not going to tell people where I work. But,
yeah, but
I don't mind that they know that I went somewhere else. No?
Yeah, so you're through with paint, right?
No more
Looks
paint.
that way. No?
Yeah, seems that way. No more paint.
Nope.
You kept working, went from one paint company to another paint company, back to the other paint company.
Mm-hmm.
And
now I'm somewhere else.
Now you're somewhere else. So you like it? You enjoying it?
Yeah, so far it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people there.
Let me ask you this question, because you're very good at finding jobs and working and things like that. Do you like working?
No, can't stand it.
See? How many people here can... who else here has a job? Well, I guess he's the only one who has a job here. Well, Bree has a job. Do you like your job, Bree?
I was watching an interview on trigonometry podcast. Or no, it was Lex Friedman interviewing John Mersheimer.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, he asked a question. And he said his grandma told him, make sure you get a job that floats your boat. Or when you get out of the bed in the morning, that you puts a bounce to your step. And I was thinking how in the last couple of months, I haven't been thinking that way, but actually I should, because I do feel that way. I just sometimes get into the wrong mindset, and I need to flip it around. I need to think about it that way.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. Because I just don't know that how many people really do like work. How about you? We had a hand raised here. Brian,
Yes.
you have a job, right?
Yeah, I'm busy right now.
Yeah.
No, I work for myself. I do heating and air conditioning.
Heating and air conditioning.
Yeah, right now the heating season's kicking up and we're running crazy. And I'm doing emails.
So do you work for somebody or do you work for yourself?
I work for myself.
Okay, so you say this is the good season, right?
Yeah, because we just got out of a busy air conditioning season and didn't wait long, and now we're going into heat. So we're doing a lot of startups and stuff. And this is good. Actually, where we really start to get scared is around March, April, May. Those seasons right before the air conditioners come on. That's when we start getting scared that the bills aren't getting paid.
There's some kind of weird anomaly in sound that I'm getting here. Mute yourself, would you, Bree? Let's see if it's you that's causing it. Okay. Now, Brian, can you talk now?
Yes.
You see, it's not you. It's somehow it's the sound he's got. So, well, go back to work.
Yeah. This time of year, we tend to go lately, go right from summer right into fall. You know how it is. You get these air conditioning days, and all of a sudden you need your heat. Where we actually get really concerned is that March, April, May. That's when nobody calls, because even if their heat breaks, they go, "I'll wait till next year."
Yeah, I'll wait till next year. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the 3 months where we start looking around, going, "Oh my God, are we going to be able to pay our bills?" And then it gets hot, and we're off to the races again. So
but it's almost that predictable, right?
Yeah, and look, I tell people that, listen, if you're a roofer, if you're a mason, you got bad weather, you're off work, and then you're off work when it's shitty weather. In the heating and air conditioning trade, when the weather's beautiful is when you have no work, and you can go out and you can go hiking, you can do.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, there's little perks, We work like slaves when it's hot and when it's cold, but I got to tell you, I got no complaints over here. I'm a happy man.
I'll tell you, we got a problem here. Maybe you can come fix it. We have a landlord who I don't know what his thinking is on. We have radiators, or as my wife calls them, radiators.
Yeah.
And we have radiators, which are really very efficient heat. Okay. And you can have them up on high, and then you can open the window if it's a little too hot in there, and whatever. But last night, it was cold as hell here in New York. I mean, right now it's 38 degrees, okay? And I think it was even colder last night. And the radiators weren't working.
Yeah.
I mean, we froze our tootsies off, So, I mean, do you deal?
Are they now in the city? There's a lot of steam. Does steam come out of the radiators, or are they hot water? If you don't see steam coming out of the radiators, they're probably hot water.
I don't see steam coming out of the radiators. Okay,
okay. It's hot water. No, that's a great heat. Yeah. Old school.
Yeah, really old school. I mean, this building.
Well, down in South Jersey, it's nothing but old school.
Well,
so
this building is 124 years old.
Oh, that's about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's got the same boilers that it had when they first opened it up, So
the same guy working for you for 120 years?
Yeah, same guy, same super. Been here. Our super's been here 30 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, Alex, I got a question.
Wait a minute,
Brian.
Alan's got his hand up first.
Brian,
go ahead, Alan.
Actually, I just wanted to let you know, last time I saw you, I was getting a new heater and air conditioner installed in February. After 6 code violations that they caused. The other day, it finally got signed off. It only took 10 months. I could have hired you, flew you out here, got the equipment. You could have done the job and been back home in a week.
I mean, I don't know how you make money like that, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm not making money. The insurance company paid for it all.
No, I'm talking about a company. How do you make money?
I don't know. They're
Yeah.
50 miles away. The insurance company picked them. They're 50 miles away, and they have to drive back and forth.
Do you have a home warranty?
Yeah, that's the insurance.
Oh no, that's all dog shit. Anyone with a home warranty needs to get rid of that shit.
Didn't they say that home warranties are like bogus, that they never pay up?
They do.
We get all the local companies. We get calls every single year. I get calls every single year. Home warranties, America Home Shield, all those places. They call. They want people in your area to sign up. The only people that sign up for that are people who don't have good customers.
Yep.
People that are just starting out. They're really difficult to get paid from. It's the pits. Nobody who's talented at all signs up with a home warranty company to go be their contractor. Nobody with any talent or any skills, because they're so. And if you do get someone, because there are companies that are companies that are growing too fast. So what they might do is they might pick up contracts like that. You're getting people that come out there that don't know what they're doing. There's no one really that reputable that gets hooked up with a home warranty company. And if a customer calls me, so what a home warranty company will do is, if they don't have someone in the area, they'll actually tell you, they'll go, well, if you could find a contractor, we'll pay them. That's how they keep it. That's how they maintain the contract.
I don't know what it was exactly, but I saw something on the air the other day where they were complaining about these home warranties, that they just don't pay off like they should, or they take too long to pay off.
I'll go to your house. I'll diagnose a blower motor, and then I'll have to stay on hold for 40 minutes just to find out what they're going to tell me that motor is worth. And so what it does is it takes guys like me who have things to do and says, I don't have time for this. Why don't you just call someone else? And because you get the piss beat out of them. And so nobody really answers their calls, and it's every season. I get a call from a couple home warranties companies every season. And then every now and again, I'll get a call from someone who says, oh, I got your number from somebody. I called my home warranty. They don't have anyone in my area. And they said that if I just called somebody, that they would pay you directly. And I'll say, I'm not interested. Wow. It's such a hassle, because I'll go there. They'll just waste my time, because I'll be in the kitchen on hold. I could have your thing fixed and on my way. And it's just a mess.
So 23 years ago, I had just a heater in the house and no air conditioner. I ran the electrical, I ran the lines, I put a new heater in, a new air conditioner. It was done in 2 days. I got a city inspection. They came and inspected it, done. And I'm an amateur at this, and it took this contractor 10 months. And he was hired by American Home Shield. So,
would you guess that he was overextended, this person? And you said it was 50 miles away?
He was the technician, and he had 2 installers. But, they didn't put like double wall flues in where they're supposed to. And, they did, there's just one thing after another. They used the wrong size gas line. I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
Okay, yeah, it's getting boring.
Yeah, it's getting boring.
Sorry.
Let's go on to something else. Next time I need air conditioning help, I'm going to call you.
No, I think that what you were saying, Brian, was very interesting about radiators.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah, no,
that's more exciting.
But
hey, Alex.
Yeah. Who said hey?
This is my pick. Yeah. I'm going to throw this out there, and you can disregard it, move on. But I think that the Democrats need to move to the middle a little bit. I think they're going a little out of control with the what do you call it, the transgender stuff. I think they've gone a little out of control. Like the border stuff, it took them a long time to get along. You have to have borders. These are the things that I believe that if we just got back to that, the Democrats would have.
Well, you're saying that you got to get too much to the middle. What you're saying is they should get too much more to the right. Because really, if you consider Kamala or any of those people of the Democratic Party a leftist party, you're out of your mind. The problem is they're no longer a leftist party.
No, I think she couldn't get out of that whole era where everybody was getting pushed to the left. I'm a big Bernie guy, by the way. And when he was coming up through and everybody was running in the primaries, Kamala was moving hardcore to the left, and she didn't respond to any of that stuff.
No, I'll tell you where the message was wrong. Okay, and the message was basically wrong, where they didn't know how to get to those other people because they didn't know who they were. They didn't understand them, okay? And really, those are the people, the Democrats have gotten to be a party that believes you have to have a college education. If you have a college education, then you'll get good jobs. Well, some people can't afford college educations. And I think that if they wanted to get all those people who voted for the orangutan, they could have done it very easily by saying, hey, we're saying that we want to give everybody a college education or a, what do you call it? A trade school education, and we'll pay for it. We want everybody to have those educations. And then that would encompass everybody. I think they would have started winning over those people who feel disenfranchised.
But I think that's where that's my only criticism I have with Bernie was you got to go for the universal health care. But then when you want to throw in there, you want to throw in there the free college education. It's too much.
No,
too much for people.
None of this is too much because it's not too much for every other country in the civilized world. Because every other country in the civilized world has universal health care. It has free education through college, or you go
every other country in the civilized world didn't do this overnight.
In England, when you graduate from high school, or even earlier than that, maybe after 2 years of high school, you then go to a trade school or you go to a pre-college kind of thing. Other countries in the world don't seem to have a problem with this, and they have far less money than we have, but they're not spending 50% of their budget on the military. They're only spending 10% on the military, which is as it should be. So if we spend less money on the military, because this whole idea that having a strong military is going to save our lives, it really hasn't.
Well, the strong military is the only way we could support Ukraine, which would be
we can support Ukraine by sending them the money we don't spend on the Army and the Navy and the Air Force here over there, so they can buy equipment and do what they have to do. There are lots of other ways.
We don't send them money. We send them our arms.
Our military is not sending people over to fight the Ukrainian war.
Yeah, but we send them the arms that we then replace on our end through contractors. So we're doing military spending. Everyone thinks we're sending suitcases to Ukraine.
I'll tell you something that to me is fascinating. We have this incredible arms thing here in America. We have these wonderful arms and missiles and things like that. But you know something? After 10 years, we find we haven't used any of them. In fact, when's the last time we shot a missile at another country? Okay? So when we get rid of our missiles, what we're really doing is having a going out of business sale, kind of, and then we're getting our new ones, which we're not going to use either, and we'll just hope there's a war somewhere else in the world that we can send the missiles to.
But before we go way too far out of where we started, I just want to make the point that you can't do too much at one time.
Yes, you can.
The progressive agenda it has to be a little. You can't go universal health care and free college tuition in one shot. It's too much
wait
for
a minute.
people.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Josh, you were nodding. What do you
Sorry.
think? Can we accomplish both?
I mean, I think if we wanted to, we could, but that's not what people want.
What do you mean it's not what people want?
It's not. I haven't heard a single person talk about healthcare or their kids' college in years. That's not what people want
Yeah, but you know,
our government to be concerned about. What people want our government to be concerned about, sadly, are things that a lot of us don't really want to be concerned about, but that's just the reality of what.
But my question is this, Josh. The fact is that I think that those disenfranchised people are disenfranchised because they didn't get the education that would give them a vested interest in this country, and they felt at a certain point that they were rebelling against that. You know, they got tired of hearing the Democrats telling them, "Oh, you got to get a college education. That's how you're going to get a good job."
I don't think there's anyone in this area that voted for Trump that was voting for Trump because they feel somehow enough or that they didn't get the education that they wanted or deserved.
Really?
I think that they voted for Trump because they feel like the price of goods is too high, that there are too many immigrants in this country that are affecting the labor market negatively.
They're not.
That there is too much crime and that it is not being prosecuted properly or strongly enough, and that their kids will not get a good enough education because education in this country overall is moving too far to the left and is abandoning principles.
Do you think it's going to get any
when they got their education?
Do you think it's going to get any education is going to get any better under Linda McMahon?
You're confusing what I think with what should happen with what people want to happen.
Yeah,
is what it has to be understood. I mean, if it were up to me, we could give the Ukrainians a ballistic missile and they could use it tomorrow, but that's not what people here want,
Yeah.
I mean, but we cannot.
My question is, do you think the American public knows what's good for them?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But, but I also don't think that Democrats know what's good for them, because they allow themselves. I said this several years ago, and then it'll turn into an argument like it will now that I said they have to completely stop this transgender bathrooms because as soon as they get drawn into the argument, they're not going to win it. And the Republicans probably really don't care as much about all that crap, but they figured out that if they act like they care, the Democrats will respond, and then they'll make the Democrats look like idiots, which is exactly what they did this time around. I can end
most of the transgender arguments and worries immediately by just saying we should abolish separate bathrooms for men and women.
Well, that might fix the problem, but there are about 5 people in the United States of America that will go along with that tomorrow.
My whole problem with transgender has nothing to do with bathrooms.
What's your problem with transgender?
Because it fundamentally is insane. There's no such thing, whether you believe in a soul or a consciousness, right? Whether you're atheist or, spiritual, your soul has no genitalia. There's no such thing as being born in the wrong body. And what we're doing is I think we're raising a whole generation.
I think you're going against conventional science when you say that.
Yeah.
I don't think. What do you mean?
You're going against science when you say that.
You think soul has genitalia?
I'm not talking about. I don't. Fuck the
There is
soul.
no soul.
I don't believe in the soul. What's that? That's
your
Bible
consciousness.
stuff.
Okay, but then how about your consciousness? I mean, that's what I mean. Whether you're spiritual,
I think your consciousness. You can be born with male genitalia and have the consciousness of a female. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think a consciousness has genitalia. I think I'm afraid that there's a whole group of
what
homosexuals. that a generation of homosexuals that are going to be raised into thinking, that they might be born in the wrong body and get them down a rabbit hole.
Nobody considers that situation of being transgender as being a homosexual issue. And if they do, they don't know what it's all about.
Well, and who doesn't know what any of it's all about? It's children. It's children. That's the thing. Like, if you're going to transition, the best time to do it is before puberty, right? I mean, because that's where really the dividing lines start going.
Look, there are two different kinds of people approaching this thing, and there are those who suddenly start wearing the clothing of a female and growing their hair out long and looking like they're female, maybe going out and getting breast implants and so on, but they're not going to go as far as cutting off their genitalia. And then there are those people that are not transsexual. What's the term they use for people who cut off their genitalia?
Transgender?
Transgender, yeah. Cutting off your penis, I think, is commitment. Okay, you got to admit that's ultimate commitment to what you to that. But you don't have to do that to be transgender, and you can feel comfortable wearing the clothes of a woman. And who says that anybody should be judged by the clothes they wear? I mean,
I don't think Republicans are saying that. I think they would stick to the fact that if you are a man and you do not want to cut off your penis, you want to wear dresses and a wig and a bra, and you want to stuff it with something, or maybe you want to have implants, that you can identify however you want under the First Amendment, freedom of expression. They're not going to encroach upon that, but they get to a point where they say, but within that, you need to live in society as society has determined they want it, which means you go to the men's restroom because that is the sex organ that you have that you urinate with, and society is not going to make any special things for you. We're not going to call you by a different name as far as male or female. You're a male. I mean, you can change your name, your personal name, but I'm just saying, I'm saying that's what you want to do. You want to express yourself that way. You are allowed to. You have the right to. But we, the larger group, are not going to change anything to accommodate you for that. I think that's where the country is in an overwhelming.
Well, do you think it was that big an issue? I mean, I hardly.
I think that it absolutely was, and I think there is pretty good evidence that the commercial that they played 20 times during every NFL game that said Kamala is for they, them, Trump is for you, was a major hit.
Because they made it one. Doesn't mean it really. There's like 6 people in the whole country that play men that play in women's sports because they're transgender.
I'm not doubting that.
Wait a minute.
I'm saying that the marketing around it was effective, and I'm saying that if you walk around the country and you go up to people one at a time and you ask them about this issue, you're not going to get a whole lot of people who are like, oh yeah, you know what? If you say you're a woman, you can go to the women's restroom and you can play on whatever sports. They're going to say, no, you have freedom of expression. You can dress how you want. You can wear makeup. You can do what you would like. But society is not going to make changes to accommodate for you. Now, I didn't say that was my personal preference I said that's where the electorate is overwhelmingly at.
I will draw my line. I will draw the line at a certain. Yes, I see you. What is that? What is that, Bree? What is that?
I was showing you my friend Hannah. That is a man.
That was a man. Okay.
Yes.
Attractive-looking man. But the point I'm making is that I've always had I have a problem with a transgender person trying to play on a female basketball team because they still have the strength of a man, okay, which is disproportionate to the strength of a woman. And I think there you have to start asking some questions as whether he shouldn't be playing basketball. If he wants to, play it like a woman on a men's team. Okay?
Right. That's what I'm saying. But my real point overall is that we just spent a whole lot of time talking about something that Americans overwhelmingly have said we don't even want to talk about this issue. And Democrats keep talking about it. Republicans keep talking about it because they know Democrats will keep talking about it. The
Well,
way
Democrats
forward,
didn't bring it up.
the-
Republicans brought it up.
that's
Democrats
what I'm
absolutely
saying.
brought it up.
The point is they brought it up so that Democrats would start talking about it. What happened this week was the first transgender person went to the Congress. They said you can't use the bathroom. And instead of Democrats chasing their tail about it and doing what we just did, that person, she said, okay, that's fine. And I guarantee you behind closed doors, Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene were disappointed in the fact that they couldn't have a go around with this person for the next 3 or 4 weeks and make Democrats continue to look like idiots on television.
Yeah.
Instead,
one
she
planet-
just said, you know what? That's fine. I'll use whatever you need. Back to work.
By the way, who here doesn't think
She
Nancy
saw.
Mace looks hot?
Her personality turns me off.
Well, personality may turn you off, but man, she is a hot-looking woman. First of all, Ray, yes, you have something to say here.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is a red herring and a complete waste of time. And I mean, I think even Josh would agree with that. It's just that he's right. This is how people think. But the thing that gets me is like no one thinks this through. Like, who's going to check to see what people have under their zipper? Like, is there going to be somebody at the door to see who has a penis and who has a vagina? And then what also, like, what if you had a transgender man? So that means he has to use the woman's bathroom. So you're going to have this dude with a beard and everything walking in. And
well,
the whole thing is absurd.
The first transgender woman has been elected to the United States Congress.
Yeah.
And then the head of the Speaker of the House was complaining that, well, we don't want people, we would use the bathroom you were assigned with at birth. Okay. And she said, I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
Fine. I would rather do that than create an argument where people are yelling all day long about this particular situation. Sure, I'll go to the men's room if the men don't feel uncomfortable with that.
And now they don't get to have the argument. They don't get to go on TV, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace, and jump up and down. There's no sound bite to play in a commercial.
I think it's great.
Lady runs for re-election.
She cut him off at the knees.
You know, I'm not right. I'm not saying it's not probably wrong for this person. I feel for them. I'm saying it's where the country is at.
No, I think it was great that Nancy Mace did that. I agree with you, Josh. I think the whole thing is just when you really get down to it, it's an absolute non-issue.
Well,
I think when they opened their mouth a few days ago, Nancy Mace and her, they thought, jackpot, here we go. We got him. We're going to drag this out for a week or two. We're going to make them vote on the House floor. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then this person said, no, that's fine. I'll go PP over there. And, they were like droopy dog after that. Oh, my God. Now we can just argue the issue.
I think it's a huge issue. And I think it's very typical for anyone to think that, like the thing that they think is okay and that they make exceptions for, and they go, this is not an issue.
Why is it such an issue?
It's not. I have been
in this country. I mean, when in every other country in the world, it's not an issue.
It's not an issue. Look, in 1979, when I was in college, we had co-ed bathrooms in the dorm. Okay. Half the college campuses have co-ed bathrooms. No one cares.
Well,
it's an issue
where
because
you
I
take
think
a
it's important.
shit.
I think that it's important if we're talking about this to talk to a transsexual. And Don Giller has just joined us.
Poor Don.
Yeah, and Don used to be a woman, and now is a very.
He looks like Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth VI.
Hello, Don. How are you?
I just want to know how COVID Boy's doing.
How COVID Boy is doing? Yeah.
Thank you, Don. The Pax Laubad is awesome.
Is it amazing how it kicks in?
Like right around about 18 hours, after my second dose.
Yeah.
Like 6 hours after that, I feel like a new man.
Yeah.
You look like one too.
Last night.
It's amazing.
I just have a runny nose, but I don't feel weak or tired or anything like that anymore.
Yeah, some people are feeling. Some people are feeling. What?
Where are you?
I'm in Palo Alto.
I'm just concerned how you caught it.
Oh, I'm in a play, and
Yep.
somebody in the cast
He doesn't
had it. And
believe
we're all
in wearing
we're all
masks.
close
People came
together
down
for
with it.
hours and hours.
Yeah.
So 5 of us got it.
Yeah.
But who was the source?
We don't know.
You don't
One
know.
of the people there, I don't know. I
Patient
don't know which
water.
one.
See, Don, you're very sensitive about this subject because
I was gonna go to your Thanksgiving whoop-de-doo next Thursday, but I get obsessively scared.
Oh, really? We're having it at a restaurant this year.
And even better.
Even worse.
Scared of what?
Of catching it.
No, but no,
Oh,
you have avoided it so far, right?
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
never
I've-
gotten it.
He hasn't been out of the house.
I've had it 3 times.
I don't get out of the house, and I've gotten it 3 times.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's something to brag about.
No, it sucks.
Well,
No, it's not, yeah.
I think 2 of the times that I got it, number one, I had the vaccination, but 2 of the times that I got it, I don't think that I was that, it was that strong. It was that strong. It had already started to weaken. I understand the current strains are really weak.
Well,
Yeah, what?
I wouldn't say it's really weak. I was feeling really shitty, and last night I couldn't sleep either, and the night before, and I was with pain and everything.
Paxlovid is a game changer.
But
Yeah,
Bill, I don't
doesn't-
care
and it
about
doesn't-
getting the COVID. It's the long. I had long COVID twice, and it sucks. I had insomnia for 4 months, and then the second time I had insomnia for 4 months again, and I hope that doesn't happen again because that's what really sucked.
Well, they say that the more times you get COVID, the more times you are closer to getting long COVID
Oh,
permanently.
great. Well, so I'll probably have long COVID again.
Well,
Awesome.
I don't. Everybody's different,
I don't. I hope I don't.
Also, to say that it's mild is kind of a weird thing.
Let's not
Although the
get
CDC
into
does-
this. Let's not get into this. I'm going to get demonetized.
I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what the
And
news
I was
says.
given a warning. I know you're not a doctor, but let's not get into any kind of advice about this versus that. The fact is, the Paxlovid is terrific. The vaccine is terrific. Go get it.
There's the advice. You just gave.
Well, no, but that's the common advice. That is not
All I was going to say was people are still dying of it.
Oh yeah, it's still out there.
That's
It's
all I
still
was
out
going to
there.
say. The
Yeah.
CDC does a weekly thing.
And YouTube, if you give me another what do you call it? They dinged me or something a while back. And all I was saying was exactly what you're saying. Go out and get the shots and get the Paxlovid and don't do this and don't do that. And they said, "Oh, you're giving out medical advice." Oh, screw you, YouTube.
Well,
You know?
not everybody can tolerate every drug, so.
I used to be a female doctor.
Were you a female that was a doctor, or were you like a gynecologist?
He played one on TV.
Yeah. Well,
Female hyphen doctor.
Okay.
a female hyphen doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Don has really. You don't go out a lot for that particular reason. You're worried about it.
Well,
right?
I'll go out, but I've been following the same regimen since this started.
You wear a mask.
A mask. I'll wear gloves, regardless of where I'm going, because it'll invariably be inside somewhere, a grocery store.
Well, I found that
Hand sanitizer.
It sucks to get it done. It's good that you do that because the long term. I mean, if you get long COVID, it's miserable.
Yeah.
It's just miserable.
Yeah.
I've
yes,
never got it.
I mean, my social life is 0, but it was 0 before that, so it's not really much of a change.
How about the places? How about the places you've been working, Josh? I mean, do you get people get COVID there? They had COVID.
I mean, it's been there before, but I haven't heard anything about it for quite some time.
Have you ever gotten it?
I think I had it once a long time ago.
But you say you think, but you don't know.
I mean, I took a test at home that said I had it.
Oh,
but
okay, all right.
I didn't care.
You didn't.
Ray, are you living alone? Are you living with other people? I mean, how are you isolated?
I wear a mask if I have to go near anyone, and I keep it really short. And then I stay in the bedroom, and my wife sleeps in the living room. And then otherwise, I just come here in my office where no one else ever comes. And my kids are always in there.
Has she ever caught it when you caught it?
No. No, she's never. No, and we live in an Eichler, so I can open up the window, the sliding doors, and get air in and out all the time.
Well, the thing is, when I got it, Marjorie didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think necessarily being in the same home with somebody who has it necessarily means you're going to get it. Of course,
I think you have to be careful.
Your odds.
It has to do with the load, you know. So like in the theater, we're in this enclosed space in the green room with other people for 3 hours, and they're literally breathing on you, you know, like 2 feet away, and you're getting more than you would with your spouse, like walking around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like being on an airplane.
Your theater. What's happening with the show you're doing? Is that been?
They had to. They canceled all of the performances this weekend because 4 other people have it in addition to me, and then we're planning on starting up again next week.
Oh, okay. And no one else has gotten it, but
I hope not. I haven't heard. I don't know.
Because you know it can take a couple of days for you to come down with it, or it can take a week or so for you to come down with it.
I mean, I have a feeling that it's going to be. It might end up being canceled. I don't know.
I mean, I think COVID's going to be with us for quite a long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it is. And it keeps changing.
According to Dr. Fauci, your grandchildren's grandchildren will continue to need COVID vaccines. So.
Oh, really? Oh,
it won't go away.
Well, maybe they'll improve the vaccines so you don't get it. Like we do.
The vaccine does its job. It protects you. You haven't been in the hospital yet, have you? Right?
No, but I'm just saying maybe they'll improve the vaccines over the years so that you have less of a chance of even getting anything. No.
Yeah.
That might happen.
I think they're combining the flu shot and the COVID shot into one yearly.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
That's what I got like 3 months ago.
But did you get the?
I got the latest COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I
got it in one shot.
I got
with the flu shot. Yeah,
I got a flu shot. I got the COVID shot, and I got an RSV shot all at the same time. And man, did I feel like crap the next day. I mean, I felt horrible. You know.
What I don't like about that regimen is it's once a year, and I've been up to date with all the vaccines every 6 months.
Yeah.
And at our age, you know, we're susceptible. Its strength.
Well,
I
do think they feel that once a year now is sufficient with the way they've made them or something. I don't know. What do I know? I know nothing.
Keep doing it every 6 months, Don.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Yeah, but your insurance may not recognize it. Hey, listen, there's our theme song. We're going to bring this to a close. There's no Amy next, by the way. For those of you who do go over and do Amy, she's. Well, I didn't. That was a bad way of putting it. Anyway, Jeff, good having you here tonight. My friend. Yeah. Josh, seems like you're okay. You look a little tired tonight, but, you know, good to have you here. Charlie Wallace, good having you here. Brian, let's do it again. You know, I don't agree with everything you say, but I like talk it over with you, you know. Richard Braun.
I love you.
Huh?
I love you.
Well, I love you too. Yeah. Okay.
Good discussion. I learned something. Thank you.
You learned something tonight, did you, Richard? Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Richard, for joining us. Ray, always a pleasure, and I'm glad to hear you're on the mend. That Paxlovid is wonderful. Bree, nice seeing you. Okay, Alan, nice having you here as well. And Also, of course, Don Giller. Always a delight, Donald. You hate it when I call you Donald.
This is what I used to look like around 10 years ago.
Okay, everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Don Giller finishing it off in high style, my friends. Anyway, we'll see you all again. Let's see, on Monday, I do the Monday show. Well, we do that little thing at 4 o'clock on Facebook. And then we'll see you again for our last show of the week and the first show of the week on Wednesday. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, you know what? Tell her I love her, okay? All right, okay, all right. Good night, everybody.